I motion to approve.
Second. All right, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the previous minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that passes. All right, any old business, excuse me, any reports from officers or staff? All right, any old business? With that, we're gonna go to the new business. We have, site plans to go over. So our first one is the Hibbett site plan to, infill the courtyard for 5,503 square feet at the North Cape Mall. Lee, do you have anything that you'd like to add to us?
Yeah, this is going to be the space for the new Hibbets. They're going to fill in the courtyard that's in the front there beside Joanne. And it's going to be another retail space similar to Joanne. They're after shifting a back door there. We've reviewed it. The development committee gives it a favorable recommendation.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to ask a question, if I might, about that. I was at the Tullahoma Community Pride Foundation meeting today. I'm a member of the board of directors there. And they inquired about whether or not that site plan includes any landscaping. Because that courtyard now is landscaped. It's about the only greenery in the entire Northgate Mall area, except a few bushes out on the street. And so I wonder about that.
Would be a question that would be good. The applicant could answer. They haven't submitted a landscaping plan with it.
Is the courtyard currently meeting, or is that considered part of their landscaping requirement right now? I mean, does it help, is that part of what meeting that landscape requirement currently? Is that what it's being, is it counted towards that?
Well, I don't believe that it would be considered, I believe, non-conforming. This was ran through the development committee, which is the Parks and Rec representative that oversees those regulations. Didn't require any additional landscaping or replacement in the landscaping.
Yeah.
But the planning commission can.
So with that,
Well, if we look at the site plan, of course, I'm not sure what it means, but there are 4 circles at the front.
Those are bollards.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And is this portion of the Hibbets, is it going to be, it's got a covered walkway? So it's not going to be directly connected to the current Hibbets?
No, I mean, a certain portion of it will be, if you look at it, but they're going to leave a portion open to still access the interior of the mall.
Okay. All
I
right.
understand it is that the actual space is going to stretch from the front of where the courtyard is to the rear of the building will be the actual space where, I guess that's where the indoor miniature golf is right now, in the rear.
Is there,
wait one second. To open further discussion, I really need a motion instead of previous that. So do we have-
Motion to approve.
All right. We got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. We got a motion and a second. All right. Now let's open discussion. Thank you. I'm sorry, Paul.
oh, you're fine. Is there access to the mall in the existing concourse of the mall?
Yeah, there's still an entrance to it. I believe, Kenny, it's a
There will not be an entrance into the mall.
Yeah, if there is, it's not shown on the
from
site
the new
plan.
store, but there's an entrance from the mall from the outside still. But you asked if there was going to be a connection between this new store and the...
Yes, is Hibbett's going to be part of the mall, or is it going to be a
No,
strip
it's
mall on
going to
the
be its
side of the
own
mall?
separate
Strip mall.
building there.
So I am open to approving this, and that seems to meet all the requirements, but I would like to know, I think it would be important to know whether this counts towards meeting the landscaping requirement and to see a landscaping plan. If they're going to remove some of the landscaping, I just would worry about heat island effect and things.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Sadler.
Hi there, I'm Kenny Sadler from 4866 Woodbury Highway, Manchester, Tennessee, and the design engineer for this, so I'll try to address any of your questions that I can. like Lee had mentioned, we discussed this through the technical review committee, and it's a non-conforming lot already as far as it doesn't meet requirements with regard to current landscaping and things. And there were no landscaping requirements put on this because of that. This is very little, landscaped area here.
Right.
However, this sidewalk area, their intent was to come up to the front of the building there at Joanne, put the wall straight across over to the walkway that goes into the mall now, and not rework the sidewalk. Those existing bollards that you see on there, the 4 circles there, they are existing. But if y'all had the requirement that you wanted some of the sidewalk removed, they're going to be removing this area and doing work in there. So if y'all had the requirement, if you wanted to see planters or something along the front of that, I don't think they'd be opposed to that. It would just,
Right.
As long as we didn't get something that would encroach too much to where
Right.
wheelchairs and things couldn't get around.
I mean, I think that it's, the size of this infill project is pretty insignificant, especially considering the amount of non-pervious material there, and I don't know why if it would make much sense to require that for just a small increment. But I was just curious about whether you were going to redo the whole parking lot or anything like that anytime soon.
Yeah,
Like whether it just would make sense to just know if we're approving something that we're approving something that would not. That's the word I'm trying to say here. I wanted to make sure that we do it by the book. So if that contributes towards meeting a landscaping requirement, we may have to do that. And does anybody know that?
Yeah, all the
This is a question for
parking
Mr.
was
Wilson.
redone,
Yeah.
when I did the Publix
Yeah.
design too. And all the parking for the entire mall was redone as a part of the Publix. And they're
Okay.
fighting for every space they can get.
Okay.
And there was no landscaping required at that time either.
Okay.
And so everything's pretty much just striped. There's very little landscaping on the outer perimeters.
Right.
There's some, but it's very little.
And I know that there's a streetscape plan that everybody's been working on, and I just wanted to make sure that this courtyard was separate from the parking lot and its requirements. So,
Right.
I guess for the overall site.
So, is this a plan for Hibbett's to move out of its current position
Yes.
and over into this smaller store?
Yes.
And, okay.
My question is, so I want to make sure I understand the site plan completely. That, where it says relocated Hibbett's retail, is it from that line forward that is, so there's a dotted line, and then there's the,
Right. Okay, the dotted line is the existing front of the building.
yeah,
And then the line just behind that is a door that would define the retail space. And then
Right.
all the area behind that will be storage or something, but they will have the space from the front all the way to the back, just like Joanne and
Okay.
PetSmart and Harbor Freight. That's the idea, is to get them from the front all the way to the back.
great.
Okay,
Is there
That was my question.
Yeah.
yeah.
any loading dock considerations or anything like that? with
They
these?
don't have anything now, and they don't require one, so there
There's
would
like
be.
5 parking spaces in the back there that look like they're going to be fairly unusable and stuff.
Well, those are existing, yeah, all that back there is very tight, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody have any more questions for Mr. Sadler?
Call the question.
Sounds good. I'm going to call the question. So, all those in favor of approving the plat for Hibbett's Northgate Mall site plan, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sadler.
Thank you.
All right. Next up on the agenda is project title 2228 North Jackson Street Building Site Plan. This looks like it's a commercial building. Lee, is there anything we need to know?
It's a 2,100 square foot building. It's going to have 2 units in it. It's going to be primary, I assume, for retail or services. It meets the parking requirements. They will be putting in landscaping around the parking area on this project. And staff gives it a favorable recommendation.
Have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion to approve and second. All right, let's open it up for discussion.
Do we know if he has already found somebody who plans on renting the spaces?
I don't know of anybody that he has right now for this. This is just like a spec building, so I don't think he has. What he's trying to do, if y'all are familiar with that area, there's a real nice retail building right beside this that was put in a couple of years ago. The Brain Development, y'all familiar with that one? So he's wanting to do something very similar to that. So he's wanting to do a really nice upscale building retail there for 2 shops.
And we're hoping people will come to it. If we
Well,
build it, they will come.
I mean, that other one, that other one filled up. It's all full
Okay.
now. So he's thinking these 2 will rent very easily.
Okay.
I'm just wondering because down in that area where the mall and across from the mall are, there's 2 or 3 buildings that have 3 or 4 spaces in them that are open and have been open for at least as long as the one where Starbucks is. And nobody seems to be coming, so,
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's due to rent, how much the rent is or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but this area out here, when the Brain Development went in, it filled up, fairly quickly right there across from the theater and
yeah.
Lowe's out there. So there seems to be interest moving that way. I know of other people actually that are looking in that
Okay.
area as well, so.
Yeah, there's a couple of places already open out there, so.
That was my question.
Okay.
Just wondering.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Sadler?
Call the questions.
All right, let's go for it then. So all those in favor of approving this site plan for 228 North Jackson Street for Mr. Denby, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the ayes have it, it passes.
Thank you all very
Thank you,
much.
Mr. Sadler. And then now we are opening up for a public hearing. All right, so we have the West Dene Road minor subdivision plat. So it's a minor subdivision plat. Lee, is there anything we need to know?
It's out in the urban growth boundary. It's on G Road. It's the carbon one tract that's 1 acre or parcel, like 1 acre out of a 14-acre parent parcel. Meets all the requirements of the city as far as subdivision is concerned, and does meet the Coffee County zoning resolution, and staff gives it a favorable recommendation.
All right.
That's us on 2 roads.
Let me open it up for public hearing. I'm going to open it up for public hearing. Anybody like to speak, state your name and where you live. It's open. All right,
They're not
I'm going to
speaking.
close the public hearing. So, there's nobody to speak. So,
Move to approve.
all right.
I'll second.
All right, so let's move to approve the second. Let's open discussion.
Who did the second?
Me.
Okay.
Where?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The project engineer says surveyor, just has Northcutt? Last name, first name?
That's his last name. His name's Nicholas Northcutt.
Nicholas, okay, I was just wondering. Okay, I was like, I have to see your last name.
Okay. So is there any discussion?
Can we call the question?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Everybody's fine. I just want to make sure everybody has a chance to look. All right, so all those in favor of the minor subdivision plat for, I messed it up now.
G Road.
Yeah,
G.
G Road?
Yeah.
Okay. G Road, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. With that, do we have any other business?
No, Mr. Chairman.
All right, our next meeting will be February 17th, 2020. I don't have to, do I have to have a motion to close?
No.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.